Welcome back to the solutions topic. We were studying the vapor pressure of a pure liquid. When we consider the vapor pressure of a pure liquid at a given temperature, when the liquid is placed in a closed vessel, it exhibits a certain pressure because there is an equilibrium between the vapor and the liquid. So such a pressure is called as the equilibrium vapor pressure or saturated vapor pressure, or simply it is called as the vapor pressure. For a given liquid at a given temperature, it is always a constant, and usually vapor pressure of the pure liquid is indicated as P0. For the solution we indicate as P. So let us consider these solutions now. When we consider this solution of a liquid in liquid, liquid A, let us say with liquid B. When we consider the completely miscible liquid system of A and B components, since both are liquids, both will contribute for the vapor pressure, and hence such a solution is a homogeneous one, so we can consider the solution as a completely miscible one. Now when we consider this liquid A in liquid B, then we have three types of solutions. One type of solution is called as the ideal solution. Ideal solution. The second one is called as the non-ideal solution. Non-ideal solution. In this non-ideal solution, again we have two types. One is with positive deviation. With positive deviation. And second one with the negative deviation. With negative deviation. So to understand this ideal solution and non-ideal solution with positive and negative deviations, we should understand first a certain other thing. When we consider a liquid in another liquid, a solution of liquid A with liquid B, since both will contribute for this liquid total vapor pressure, okay, then we have to consider the vapor pressure of the individual liquid in the above the solution. So that is called as the partial pressure. So when we consider this partial pressure of A, this is directly proportional to this P0 B, this is directly proportional to chi A. That is vapor pressure of a particular liquid in this above the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution. Or we can write this as PA is equal to chi A and P0 B, P0 A. This equation is called the Raoult's law equation. So we can state the Raoult's law, R-A-O-U-L-T-S, Raoult's law. Since this vapor pressure of the pure solvent is a constant at constant temperature only, we have to consider at constant temperature. At constant temperature, vapor pressure of the liquid above the solution is equal to mole fraction times the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is Pa is equal to chi A into P0 A. In one of the previous class we have seen chi A is actually mole fraction of the solute A in the solution. Similarly, I will rewrite this one as Pa is equal to chi A into P0 A. This is, let us say, equation 1. In a similar way, we can write this as Pb is equal to chi B into P0 B. That is vapor pressure of this component B or partial pressure of the component B above the solution is equal to mole fraction of that component B in the solution multiplied by the vapor pressure of the pure solvent B. Then we have the total vapor pressure P total is equal to PA plus PB. That is equal to chi A P naught A plus chi B P naught B. So this is the total vapor pressure of the mixture above the solution, which can be calculated by taking the sum of the partial pressures of the individual vapors. Chi A P naught A plus chi B P naught B. That is the vapor pressure of the two components can be calculated like this. Then when you come to this ideal solution, if the total pressure P total is equal to PA plus PB, sum of the vapor pressures of the pure solvents, then we consider such a solution as an ideal solution. If P total is equal to PA plus PB, then we say the solution as an ideal solution. The second condition for the ideal solution is no change in the volume. That is, delta V of mixing must be equal to 0. Then the third one is delta H of mixing is equal to 0. The meaning of these two is, suppose you take a certain volume of liquid A and certain volume of the liquid B. If the total volume is equal to sum of the volumes of the individual liquids, then we can say no change in the volume, that is delta V of mixing is equal to 0. Say for example, I am taking A 50 ml, then B 25 ml. Then the total volume delta V, total volume V total is equal to, if it is 50 plus 25, that is equal to 75. There is no change in the volume, that's why delta V of mixing is equal to 0. Delta H of mixing is equal to 0 means, when we mix two liquids to form a solution, if there is no change in the enthalpy, the process of solution formation is neither exothermic nor endothermic. In that case, we say delta H of mixing is equal to 0. Heat is neither liberated nor absorbed. That kind of solution is called an ideal solution. That is, we say a solution as an ideal one only when there is no change in the volume. So P total is equal to PA plus PB. Then the delta H of mixing is equal to 0, delta V of mixing is equal to 0. If you mix 50 ml and 25 ml of two liquids, then if the total volume is 75 ml, there will be no change in the volume. If the process of solution formation is neither exothermic nor endothermic, then it is considered as the delta H of mixing 0. So such a solution is considered as the ideal solution. So once you understand this ideal solution, then the non-ideal solution can be very easily understood, in which the total volume or total with positive deviation and negative deviation. When we consider this positive deviation, the P total will be greater than the sum of the partial pressures of the individual liquids. Similarly, delta V of mixing is greater than 0. That is, if total volume exceeds this 75 ml, when 50 ml of this one and 25 ml of this one are mixed, if the total volume is more than 75, then we say delta V of mixing is greater than 0. If the reaction process or solution process is an endothermic one, in that case delta H will be positive. When delta H is positive, it is an endothermic process. So the solution is said to be a non-ideal solution with positive deviation. In the same way, we can define with negative deviation. If the P total is less than sum of the partial pressures of the individual liquids, if the delta V of mixing is less than 0, if delta H of mixing is negative, then we say the solution is a non-ideal solution with negative deviation. So this is about the classification of the solutions as an ideal solution a non-ideal solution with positive deviation, and a non-ideal solution with negative deviation. To remember the examples for these three types of solutions, it's an easy method to remember for an ideal solution. When we consider liquids with similar chemical nature, liquids with similar chemical nature or chemical structure, we can say, or having similar chemical properties, such liquids will form always an ideal solution. For example, if you take this benzene and toluene, benzene plus toluene, the solution, since benzene and toluene both are non-polar in nature, they will form the liquid's solution with an ideal nature. In that case, we observe that delta P total is equal to Pa plus Pb, delta V of mixing is equal to 0, delta H of mixing is equal to 0. Similarly, we can take ethyl bromide plus ethyl iodide. Here there is no much difference in the electronegativities of bromine and iodine. Hence, ethyl bromide and ethyl iodide have got almost similar chemical properties or similar chemical structure. That's why they will form the ideal solution. Then coming to the third example, cyclohexane plus cycloheptane. Cycloheptane. Similarly, chlorobenzene plus bromobenzene. Such a mixture, because of similar electronegativities between the chlorine and bromine atom, they will form the ideal solution. Cyclohexane and cycloheptane both are non-polar in nature, they will form the ideal solution. Similarly, benzene, toluene, ethyl bromide, ethyl iodide. To remember the example, you remember the compounds with similar chemical structure, they will form the ideal solutions. About these non-ideal solutions with positive deviation and non-ideal solution with negative deviation, we shall discuss with the examples in the next class. Thank you.